It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Would you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. While we're together, I might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Ooh. What happened was oh wait, won't you be? Please, won't you be? Please, won't you be my neighbor? What happened was I started making this video. I went on for about a half hour. And then when I checked my time, it cut off at 7 minutes and 34 seconds. I am bumming about that because I am tired. So I'll try to recap, which I hate doing. But I'm going to try to love it. Get into the moment. My back hurts. Right here. When you feel something going like this in your back, it's more than just that. You're being pushed. I don't have the time for that now, but when we feel these pressures in our body, they're pressures from the universe, from our minds, from our hearts, from our guts. If you devoted a couple few days to just moving where your pushes were until you felt the next push. You know, sometimes you have a pain right here and a pain right here. Or if you touch a pain, then another pain will come. And if you touch that pain, another pain will come. Which I guess is a little bit Asian, which I don't know anything about. But it is all built into us. Side note, I'm talking about that. I don't know a lot about Asian stuff, but after years of practicing, kind of like after years of practicing I don't know if I can do it right now, I'm super embarrassed, and I mostly can only do it in my car, but the building the case video I made, building the, building a case 001, um, was the one of the first times I was able to do the tube and throat singing while in my apartment in my stairs instead of in my car, which I've been doing for shy of 10 years, and I never really studied how to do it or anything. It's just when I was younger, when I had Netflix, back when they used to mail you DVDs, I rented Genghis Blues, an awesome, awesome, awesome movie. And I was just looking up stuff for blues, and then I saw Genghis Blues, and I was like, "What's that?" And then I watched it, and I was like, I'd never even heard of it before. I was like, "You can sing two notes at the same time?" And I was like, I just remember thinking like, I have to do that. And at that time, I was like watching a lot of Tony Robbins, Eckhart Tolle, Deepak Chopra, all that kind of stuff, you know. And I was taking a break from all my conspiracy stuff. Um, Even though there's no escape from the conspiracy of conspiracies, the spiral of spirals, the spire of spires, the spear of spears. Um, but yeah, anyway, one of the things I do, because like it's a whole like left versus right thing, and it's like, well, we have these two hands that are symmetric, and our body's like symmetric, or a lot of it, except for our digestive system, which is weird, you know, and our heart. Our heart isn't symmetric. It's fivefold. Reference Dan Winter and also the Chesterhedron guy. Five chamber heart. I don't know anything about it, but I think it was Dan Winter who said, well, he definitely said, when you tell the truth, your heart sings like a laser. And he also, I think it was him who said, the truth has a certain ring to it. That's one of the ways to learn. That's one of the ways to learn. Quantum computing, which is kind of like what this stuff is. This is what I made that didn't get recorded. I'll try to redo it. Now it seems like I'm on another path, so. But yeah, well, first of all, chopsticks are a lot like a compass. And sometimes I'm not good with my left hand. I can do some stuff with it. It really is mostly my support hand. Um, but over the years, well, it took me years to figure out how to eat with chopsticks. Years and years and years. And the reason I did it was for two reasons. Was one is because I realized like that's more dexterity. I'm not even sure if I'm holding them right, but I think if you mess around with them long enough, you get the feel. And I'm not sure what kind of chopsticks these are. They're the disposable ones you buy with, I buy veggie sushi, vegetarian sushi, and that has the seaweed, which gives you iodine, and then that comes into a whole other deal of matter washing over form. Like you take iodine to protect yourself from, nuclear whatever, uranium or whatever, because it fills up your thyroid the right way. So you have these spaces where things can plug into, and something plugs in that's right, and something could plug in that's wrong. What if our whole body and all of our compounds could be different? You know, what if our body could be built exactly looking as the way it is, but with different compounds? There's no what if about it. I don't know how it is, but I've been convinced in a variety of ways that that's the case. The perfection of this body, though, might not look the way we think. Spontaneous combustion. Anyway, after years and I finally got good with this, then I'd do this. And the whole idea was like, first of all, building on the right hand, it gave me more dexterity with my right hand. It's just a different way of using your fingers. So that does something to your actual brain, which does something to all your thoughts. All of them. Oh yeah, and there's different types of chopsticks. Like, versus like Korea and Japan and China, quote unquote. So I heard. There are different lengths. That means something. I don't know what yet, but everything means something. Until I got it right. So that's one reason, is because it reprogrammed my brain. The other reason was because I realized that we're supposed to eat we're supposed to eat smaller bites of food, and we're supposed to chew our food. Chew our food. It's kind of like when Obama said, if we all filled our tires to the appropriate psi, then we'd save a lot of oil resources, carbon, blah blah blah. I mean, he's right. It's not going to save the world, but technically he's right, you know. So then after I got okay with this, then I thought, oh yeah, so chewing your food. But actually, that's not like filling up your tires. Chewing your food is actually, it's the first part of the digestive system. People always talk about like gluten and gluten-free stuff, but if you chew bread for a really long time, the type of sugar changes into something that you can actually like digest. I don't remember the chemistry of it, but I remember I did it in sixth grade as part of a science class. We chewed bread and chewed it 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 and chewed it. It's kind of like what's going on with coronavirus right now. Like, wash your hands for at least 20, 30, 45, 60 seconds or whatever. Like, take little bites of food. Keep that social distancing. Smaller bites. Chew it longer. Take your time. Then swallow. And that's much better for the digestive system. I have a problem with that because I wolf down my food. Because even though like I'm skinny, you would not believe how much of a hog I am. I am a hog, and I love eating. It's the only thing I can think about right now. I'm fighting. I'm fighting it right now. I got some garbanzo beans and some tomato soup and a little thing of crackers, and I can't wait to eat them. Not that that's the right thing to eat, but I knew this took priority today. So then I started using it in my left hand. And then the whole idea with that is that you're chewing even slower and you're reprogramming your mind. Um, I've become a little more ambidextrous as a painter because like when you're painting trim and you're on a ladder, like you don't want to move your ladder as many times, so you get better and you can cut that line with your left hand, and it depends on the day. I couldn't cut super great lines today because I was tired as shit. But but then even sometimes when you're tired, you just click into it and it's like boom. Chopsticks. Ding 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 ding. So I had a sip of this before, when I was making the video that didn't get posted. Notice now the berries have risen. They've risen because of the yeasts have been bred. Yeast. Yes. Yeast. Yeshua. The unleavened bread. So you have beer, then you have bread, and you have beard. The unleavened bread so bread, breed, never mind brie, cheese, ammoniated, not lactic, ammoniated, so to speak. Bread, breed, beer, bear, bear. D is delta, which represents change. So the unleavened bread is bred or breed without the change. If you put this E here, then you have bear E. It's one way of looking at it. So, when the Jews ate the unleavened bread, you know, when I go buy the berries and I eat one, that's unleavened bread. Because I ain't got time for it. It's like I'm starving, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat me some unleavened berries. But when I got the time for it, I'm going to get the yeast. I'm going to let the Messiah make a mess with the fruit flies. Sometimes. Before, when I made the video that I didn't post, a fruit fly flew in my eye. But fruit flies are different than other flies. One of the ways they used to try to promote like toilets and outhouses. Outhouses had to do with hookworm, I guess. Which is why you dig a hole at least 4 feet down. 6 is better. But one of the ways they went around the world selling the idea of toilets was they take a pile of meat and a pile of shit and put them right beside each other, and all those house flies go back and forth between the shit and the meat. That's telling you something. What it told them was buy a toilet. That's not the only message. Fruit flies don't do that. They go from fruit to fruit to fruit to fruit to fruit. They're getting yeast. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Doink. It's one of the symbolisms. This is one of the ways you can look at it. Dorothy, the nickname for Dorothy is Dot. And dot is what represents a point. You can't draw a point, but Dorothy, the nickname for Dorothy is Dot. So we have a dot. Dorothy had Toto. So like with geometry, have your compass, northeast, south, west. Never eat soggy wheat. Never eat soggy wheat? But this is all about the soggy wheat. Do they mean eat soggy berries? Do they mean don't eat soggy wheat, but eat soggy other stuff? Like amaranth or spelt? Or do they mean don't eat the wheat, drink it? It's just like when people say, I don't think so. If you ask me, does 1 + 1 = 2? I'd say, I don't think so. Now, if you didn't know what 1 + 1 equaled, you'd be like, oh, maybe it equals something else. But if you did know, you might be like, "You're lying. You know it does." To which the person would reply, "Exactly. I don't think so. I know so." So sometimes that sometimes I don't think so means yeah. Gotta check my time, make sure I'm still recording. 2049. How am I doing on power? 34%. Better plug her in. Alright. So I have half hour. Yeah, I imbibed tonight. Serendipitously, I bought Brick Red beer. Because the yellow brick road is also entwined with the red brick road. Whence red? This is good for the poopa. I guess it's worth noting too that George Carlin has that whole act. What about the blue fruits? And supposedly the blue fruits have or blue food, blueberries, blackberries, black, supposedly have monatomic gold. I've watched a lot about that. I don't know what to think. I know that's a dry cough. I'm not sure. I might have had COVID when that there was something that happened, and it had a lot more to do with than it did with COVID, but it might have been COVID. But my dry cough is well, who the fuck knows? Maybe it's COVID. Anyway. Talking about Agnes. Talking about Tom. Talking about John. Talking about Judas. Talking about Dorothy. We're talking about Scarecrow, Tin Man, Cowardly Lion. Chunk is the Cowardly Lion in Goonies. He's the coward, but he goes to the dungeon with the monster, who becomes the hero. The Superman, the Ubermensch, the Albrecht Dürer, very peculiar, strange shape. Now I know Ubermensch has been used in a very bad way. But the symbolism's everywhere. They also stole the swastika, which is an ancient symbol. And what did it do? It scared everybody away from a lot of good math and good symbolism. Which was part of the agenda. In that way, they kind of won a little bit. I'm going to leave it at that, never mind the rest of it. Dorothy, Toto. dot. Dot. So now we have two dots, a Dorothy dot and a Toto dot. So then you could say, well, dot, dot. 2 points. A knot and a knot. Then what are you left with? Rye. Or, because H is pronounced H, even though it's only given the ch with a C, but the C's built into it, you get rye. Or you get rishi. Because the SH and the CH are very similar. Rye. Unleavened bread. The bread. But we don't need to use both T's. We don't have to use both T's because dough also means two. So dough dot. 2 dots. Well, then you get Roth red. R O O T. You could put the H on and get Ruth. Red. And then you'd have the Y, which could be Y. Red slippers. But we're going to go with root HY. Root upside down. So you have top of the tree, bottom of the tree. You put it upside down. That's a fraction. In this case, in this symbolism, it's going to be 1 over root 3. 1 over root 3 over 1, root 3. Because the CH is built into the H. Chi. We're going to choose the I part of Y. Chi, which is X in Greek, but it's Chi. Asian, Oriental. Ki. Ki. Alpha, beta, chi. A, B, C. Easy as 1, 2, 3. How we doing? Not super great. All right.
That was easy.
Ooh. Hosea. You could go on like this forever, but at some point you got to stop. That's kind of like quantum computing. But sometimes it can get you there. And like I said, the English language was built. And one of the groups who built it were all the hidden, bearded women and hermaphrodites. And I feel a little smug saying it like that, like, hey, hey. But I'm heh-hehing on myself, you know? 6 billion people in the world landed on the moon, or we faked it. Either way, a major accomplishment. You don't even need to know. Either way, it's an enormous accomplishment. And women can't go about the way they are as they are because there's a lot of bearded women. That's fucked up. Isn't that fucked up? All this technology, all this silence, this many gigabytes. This many gigabytes. We're going to make more gigabytes. We're going to get implants. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Hey, here's an idea. Why don't we accept bearded women for who they are? It sounds like a small thing, but it's not. It's huge. Huge. Huge, 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 huge. Anyway. So you have your dot. Yeah, I drew this before. I got cut off. You have your dot, Dorothy, and Toto, the other dot. The Witch of the West. Never eat soggy wheat. That's how things are built into stories. This dude writes about it. Quantum Memory, Dominic O'Brien. Talking about how the Greeks would they'd use their house or whatever, and they'd build it in their mind, and they'd have all these ideas, and as they walked through their house, they'd place things on it, and so on. That's how stories were built back before paper was easy to make. And they'd take one story, and they'd put all their math, all their medicine, all their this, all their that, so on. And I use the word the Greeks, though I believe, that the nomads have gone around the world impregnating cultures to make them beautiful. So I don't necessarily, obviously things didn't come from the Greeks and so on, but things also didn't spread across the map the way it looks like, because the nomads were going like this the whole time. Who didn't get mad because they were master of their energy. One dot, Dorothy, and she was always holding Toto. Dorothy's a dot. Dorothy's a dot. Now with the compass, northeast, southwest, when both are together, when Dorothy's holding Toto, when the two dots are together, it's closed, right? But the Wicked Witch of the West takes Toto. And then he pops out of the picnic basket. And he comes back to Dorothy. And then the tornado comes. Since they're both dots, you could almost think of them in the same way. So, Toto running to Dorothy is the same thing as Dorothy running to Toto. Or, I'm sorry, as Toto running to Toto. Ooh, this is going to be tough. Toto to Toto. Toe to toe. And then Dorothy and Toto go around and round. Ooh. Spinning in that tornado of souls. That was a Megadeth reference. I miss a warm embrace I felt the first time you touched me. Song about heroin. Secure and safe in loving arms, I should have known you'd crush me. A snake you were when we met, I loved you anyway. Pulling out them poison fangs, venom never goes away. I'm the sun that beat your brow in. Do 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 do. Till you finally threw the towel in. Never knowing if I wake up in a whirlpool got redundant. My brain was just some driftwood in a cesspool. I became dead from a rock star to a desk fool. It's destiny, someone said. Da 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 da. Taste of water's last abundant. Do do do. Boom 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 boom. Boom 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 boom. Boom 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 boom. Taste me. Taste the rainbow. So now she's in the world of color. And I'm going to leave that hat at that.